Man, that music was terrible for the segment that we're about to launch today because usually in this segment we have serious topics that we cover. But like I said, for our listeners out there, you guys are in for a Wednesday treat today. Joining us live in the studio is Saree McIntosh, all the way from the United States. Saree, it's good to see you. Welcome to our program.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
Again, first time that I've met you. Maybe our listeners have checked out your YouTube videos in the past as well. But let's, as we always start off, why don't you introduce yourself to all of our lovely listeners out there?
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is Saree McIntosh. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a musician. I'm a beat girl, and I'm so happy to be here today.
I have to say, I could listen to her voice all day.
Oh, I love your voice. I love your voice.
She's not even singing right now. She sounds like she's singing right now. Wow. I mean, obviously, some people are just born with the gift. I've had a chance to listen to a lot of your videos that you've uploaded. You have your own channel.
Yes, I do.
I also saw that a legend in a Korean artist had uploaded one of the songs that you had covered, right?
Yes.
Which was, I mean, incredible out there.
Amazing.
We have so many of our listeners who are big in K-pop. You obviously a big fan of K-pop as well. Mm-hmm. Have you listened to ARIRANG Radio in the past?
Yes, I have a little bit. Actually, a year ago when I started pursuing music, I was searching for radio stations that I wanted to reach out to, and ARIRANG was one of the radio stations I wrote down.
Do you remember what show you were listening to by any chance?
Oh, it was so long ago, I don't remember.
Probably not us. Saree's trying to be, going into the music industry. She's not listening to Korea now, that's for sure. It was definitely not our show there, but it's quite fascinating that you were saying that you were trying to get into the music, trying to launch Korean music just last year?
Well, I guess last year I started taking it really seriously, but I've been singing for so many years since I was a child. But yeah, last year I started studying Korean and really getting into it and wanting to become a singer here.
From what I understand, singing seems to run in the family.
Yes, it does.
Going all the way back to your grandfather. Is that true?
My grandfather served in the Korean War. Yes.
Wow.
And he's not much of a singer, but he loves to sing. He plays his guitar and he sings. But my dad actually sang in Korea in the 80s. And he sang with Kim Hak-nae on 노래자랑 and 가자 오락관 and all of that stuff. And my brother is also a singer, so yeah, it's in the family.
Did your brother sing in Korea too?
My brother is actually on my YouTube channel and he sings with me.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow. So is that how your fascination for Korean music started? Because of your, well, I mean, again, I would also love that. Is your grandfather still well?
Yes, my grandfather, he's still alive. He is very old now, but he's living life. I don't get to see him very often because he lives in Colorado.
Okay.
But every time I see him, I tell him how my YouTube channel's doing, and I tell him all the comments because people are very grateful for his service in the war, so he gets really emotional when I tell him about it.
We got to do a 3-part series where part 1 is interviewing Saree, and then part 2 is her grandfather, and part 3 is her father, and then maybe we could squeeze in her brother maybe time to time here. But really incredible here. I have to say, though, I know that you said, your grandfather served in the Korean War, and your father, performed in South Korea as well. But what got you to be fascinated in K-pop in the first place? Because surely, I mean, it can't, I know you've been singing for such a long time, but you weren't going, Mommy, Daddy, I want to start singing K-pop songs.
Well, actually, I think I was brainwashed into liking Korean music because my dad, ever since I was a baby, played Korean music because he loves Korean music.
Wow.
Yes. So I loved the classic Korean music, and then as I got older, I was introduced to like the Wonder Girls and all of those K-pop groups, BTS, and I just really fell in love with it. That
does make sense. So because, again, your dad would be more on the side of the 70s, 80s music, I'm guessing, and that if that's like the song that he's been playing ever since you were a little kid, then you would be obviously exposed to those kind of music.
Yes.
Because I was saying that it's interesting because you're very young. And there's so many artists out there who cover K-pop music, but they're usually like, not to say it's bad to cover BTS and Twice and Red Velvet and Blackpink and all the young artists out there. But I found it very, very unique that you're covering, for example, names like Yujeha.
Yes.
Which even some kids here in South Korea don't even know. We have some messages coming in. Polina Maldonado, she's over in the UK, and Sunflower Sky, she's over in Georgia. Both of them says that your voice reminds them of Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. That's funny. I love Dolly Parton.
And then Yang Gurum, who's here in South Korea, says her voice reminds me of Ijina, who's an acoustic musician. And if you checked out Saree's videos, she does play a lot of the acoustic music as well. So I want to know, though, you have... let's see, I'm going to try to do math here. You have something like 110,000 more subscribers than I do in my channel. Survivor English is still alive, ladies and gentlemen. What's been sort of the feedback? Because I also checked out some of the comments from, by the way, many who are Korean, YouTube followers and things like that. What's been the feedback so far from people who've checked out your videos?
It's been so positive, and it's honestly so shocking to me because when I started my YouTube channel, I was just doing it for fun. I just loved singing the songs that my dad taught me, like 슬픔의 심너 and 내가. I just loved singing them, so for fun I made videos and uploaded them on YouTube. And people really took to it, and now I have 111,000 subscribers. It's absolutely insane.
That's 110,900 something more subscribers than I have. And mind you, can you we'll PR your channel. Your channel, if they want to look it up, all they have to do is type in Saree McIntosh. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if you look at her videos, it's not an amateur video. It's like a professional music video is what you're looking at. It is great. It's amazing, some of the singers. And we have a lot of the so-called ajes, the older listeners in our program because we're a new show. And so for our listeners out there, our aje listeners out there, she covers a lot of the songs that we grew up listening to and, songs that our parents have grown up listening to as well. I want to know, though, because even though you said you've been studying Korean.
Yes.
Right? But your Korean, how fluent is it?
It is very hard to learn a language where you don't live in the country that it's spoken.
Right. And she's from Las Vegas, by the way, which makes it even worse, right? You can learn a whole lot of Korean in Las Vegas.
I feel like reading, I'm good.
Okay.
And listening, I'm good. But I'm still getting the speaking part down, and I haven't had that much speaking practice, so I'd say right now I'm like 40 to 50%.
Okay, the reason why I asked this is because I looked at, again, do you do the translation of the lyrics yourself?
I do, yes.
It's spot on.
Really?
And it's very difficult, especially because the lyrics, right? Music lyrics, it's so hard to directly translate because there's certain phrases or quotes or words that cannot be specifically translated into English.
Korean and English are so different.
And you have to also take into consideration it has to fit certain syllables so that you can sing it, right? And the tune. How do you go about doing that? Do you get any kind of help from like your Korean friends or anything?
Well, actually, we get a little help from Papa Go. So, I'll read through the lyrics first. I'll print off the Korean lyrics. And some things that I don't understand, I'll search up the words. And then I'll also search up like the grammar that's used with it to try to get the feeling of what they're trying to say. But once I have the general tone of the song and the meaning, then Korean songwriting is very different than English songwriting.
Absolutely.
So I just try to match the syllables, and I count out all the syllables that there are, and then I try to match it in English, and as well try to follow the story that the original Korean song had. And I work with my dad a lot. My dad is an amazing songwriter, and we write all of our songs together.
Is that your dad outside?
Yes, that's my dad.
Oh, we could just do the part 2 of the interview right at...
I know, right here.
We got to send Chungcheol back home. I'm sorry. I'm just... Oh, that's incredible. Kudos to you. I was wondering who that was outside.
That's my dad.
Okay, there you have it. So he looks so young. I was surprised. That's why I was like, can't be your dad. I mean, he looks so young. You said he was like performing here in Korea what was it, the 90s, was it? Or the 2000s?
He was here in 84.
84, before I was even born?
Can you guess how old he is?
He looks like he's like early 40s.
Oh, really? No, he's 58.
He's 58?
Yes.
What do you guys eat down there in Las Vegas? Wow, I kid you not. There you go. Our producer's using the camera,
there he is.
and we're gonna get a view. There you go.
Say hi.
He does not look 58 years old. You gotta be kidding me. Wow, I really thought this is. I'm not like, sometimes I would, kind of do the whole, oh, he looks like you brought your brother over there. Mm-hmm. He could pass as a brother, older brother, to be honest with you. But, oh, that's incredible. But, so, I'm sure, again, he's, been a big influence in your music career. I think that's an understatement. Growing up and, when you got into listening to all these older music, older K-pop music, who were some of your favorite artists and what were some of your favorite songs?
Kim Hak-nae is one of the first Korean artists that I listened to, so he's definitely there in my mind, as well as Yoo Jae-ha. I think Yoo Jae-ha is one of my favorite artists of all time. And since, I'm still young and I didn't live in that time and it's a completely different country, I'm still discovering Korean music to this day. So that's what I love about old music, is you get to really dive in.
Yeah.
But with the new music, I love EHIE and BTS and NewJeans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So Yoo Jae-ha is, one of the artists that, left this world a little bit too early, and arguably one of the greatest artists in the history of Korean music.
Yes.
Who was the first artist? Kim who?
Kim Hak-nae.
Kim Hak-nae? The comedian?
No, he sings 슬픔의 심너 내가 말 없는 방랑차라면 이 세상. You know that one?
No, I don't. Oh, it's from the 대학 가요제, the college. My again, I'm not a music DJ, and so my music history is not so good there. My Kim Hak-nae that I know is the comedian Kim Hak-nae. But we have, again, a treat for all of our listeners, because Saree, you are going to be performing one of the songs that you're able to translate. Can you tell us what song it is and who it's sung by originally?
Yes, this song is 사랑은 창밖의 빗물 같아요. It was written by 전현록 and it was sung by 양수경.
All right, let's take a listen.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. Raindrops running down the pane. All my longing is in vain. Each time the sky starts to cry, I think of you and wonder why I can't sing in the rain without your voice. It's not the same. Raindrops always take me back to when you were mine. Umbrellas line the street, but I can't find. I look for you everywhere. My heart won't let me stop. Oh my love, I hate when it's raindrops. The sun digging through the clouds. Slowly my mood turns around. The warmth helps me change my tune. The clouds moved on, I should too. Ooh. The grass still carries the dew.
That was incredible.
Oh, thank you. I was very nervous.
You know, wow. Is this what Sam and like Isaac and all of our music DJs go through on a daily basis? That was all of our, we have a lot of our listeners, Sunflower Skies, Voice of an Angel, Polina who says, so beautiful, I love her voice. Clara says, beautiful voice.
Thank you.
You know, when you hear great, I mean, oh my goodness, I'm speechless right now. I had chills down my spine on the very first note that you hit.
You're very kind, thank you.
I wasn't expecting that. You know, usually when the music starts, it kind of, you know, you settle in and then it kind of, you ease into it and she just went at it right away.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Can I be perfectly honest with you? This is one the very few times I've gone to like concerts and things like that. One of my favorite concerts that I've attended here in Korea was a concert by Kim Bum-soo, a ballad artist.
Oh yes, I love him.
Love Kim Bum-soo. Kim Bum-soo was one of those guys, rare artists, where his live music is so much better. His live sing is so much better than, you know, the MP3s and things like that. You sound so much better live.
Thank you. That makes me so happy.
That is crazy. And that says a lot because even her music videos are incredible. This is, wow.
Thank you very much.
I'm a very talkative person and it's very rare that I'm left speechless.
Wow, thank you.
But you know, there's a saying, let's take your passport, throw it away.
Throw it away.
So that you can't go back. Just make her a Wednesday, a set Wednesday guest. We'll go a little bit musical on Korean. That was incredible. You know, for our listeners out there, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. And even we have a lot of messages coming in our live YouTube chat for our radio listeners as well. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. You have also released an album here in Korea just last year.
Yes, I did.
Tell us more about this, the album that you launched, and what's been the feedback so far. Do you have any interesting stories when it comes to launching your career here in Korea?
It all happened very fast but slow because I've been doing music for a long time. But then once I started my YouTube channel, I was reached out to by this...
JYP?
I wish. It's called San Republica, and they're a distribution company, and they kind of changed my life because of them I started being able to release songs like 사랑은 장밖에 비목하대요 in English, and then also I did 향기로운 추억, which was my first release ever, and that one was very stressful because by the time I actually sang it I was sick. So I was really nervous that I wouldn't do it well, but actually, it came out pretty cool. I think my voice sounded pretty raspy.
Sometimes when it's that raspy, right? You need that raspy voice to add a little flavor to the songs out there. Sunflower Skies from Georgia says, is her album available stateside? Is your album available for sale in the States?
Actually, I think on Apple Music and all the streaming sites, yes.
Yeah, just look up Saree McIntosh once again. You'll be able to. I mean, who buys CDs these days, right? I mean, you can download it, pay and download. No illegal downloads, ladies and gentlemen out there. I can't believe you are also. Oh, actually, you're not the youngest. We had the Children's Day special where we had like elementaries. You're 17 this year.
Yes, I'm 17.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For being young. You've also, I was wondering what one of our listeners was like. Chris Rhodes, he's in the UK. He works in the broadcasting industry in the UK, but as a sort of a side hobby, he also has a YouTube channel where he reviews K-pop artists, mostly girl groups. And he said, are we going to see her breakdancing too? And I was like, what is this guy talking about, breakdancing? We're here for live music. You breakdance?
Yes, I'm a B-girl. I've been breakdancing since I was 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes. My brother was a breakdancer because my mom was a Broncos and Nuggets cheerleader. And she
The Denver Broncos?
The Denver Broncos, yes. She did the front flip dunk. on ESPN. So she's a very talented dancer, and she loved breakdancing. So she put my brother in breakdancing, and I would go to the classes and just sit on the side. But at a point, I got bored of sitting on the side, so I asked my mom if I could join him, and I joined, and he stopped breakdancing, but I kept going. And yeah, I'm still breakdancing to this day. I'm on, do you know the crew called Flow XL?
No.
Well, Flow XL is one of the best breaking crews in
Is it
Korea.
really?
Yes.
And that's the thing, is you're at the perfect place to, stay at if you want to do some breakdancing, because again, Koreans are amongst the powerhouses.
Best, like one the best b-boys in the world.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Her family is worth interviewing. I'm gonna add a part 4 here. I'm a huge sports fan, by the way. Not a Broncos fan. I'm a Jets fan, unfortunately. But Denver Nuggets and the Broncos, and you're here. You have so much talent. It's just incredible. What was I doing when I was 17 years old? I want to know what I was doing when I was 17 years old. Our producer wants to ask before we leave. It is in our program where we talk about news and North Korea. By the way, we're about to invite a North Korean refugee soon. But we talk about serious stuff. It's very rare we have talent like this. Our producer wants to invite you for a year-end special.
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
But we're afraid that you're going to be so busy and so so busy with other schedule. Can we try to book you?
Of course, you were my first radio show ever.
Am I really?
Ever. So I would love to come back.
There you go. Our listeners say what a gifted family it is. Definitely true. Before we end this interview, unfortunately, because we have to invite Chungchar into the studio. What are the rest of your schedule? How long are you staying in Korea? What are your rest of the plans for during your stay?
Sadly, I'm only here for 2 weeks. I would not leave if I had the option to not leave.
Well, we could always take our passport and
just throw it away. But I actually came to Korea to be on your guys' show.
Just for this?
And also, I'm going to be singing on an NBC program on Monday.
On Monday.
For the 어린이날, for I think it's called A New Life for the Children.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I'm very excited for that.
Well, I mean, you got a good practice. I mean, we are honored to have you as the very first, before the M broadcast station, we're able to get a taste of your great talent. Listen, Saree, it was a great honor. I always go, I mean, music, I'm not musically talented or anything like that. I saw your music video and I said this is going to be a treat for all of our listeners, but I thought it was more than a treat. It was incredible. Unfortunately, this is where we're going to have to end it, but I have to say best of luck to you in your career. I mean, you have a great voice, to say the least, and we do wish to see you again in the near future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. It was an honor.